Here he comes.
There he is.
All right, circle back, buddy. I got it.
They come from all over.
Rockford, Illinois.
Western Michigan.
Photographers with camouflage coats and cameras, lenses as big as their face.
We kind of knew ahead of time that there would be a lot of photographers here.
Just to take pictures of the eagles.
Flying through the sky, landing on the trees. Eagles are the reason these photographers
Here he comes.
We love to photograph the eagles.
There's a lot of birds out there today.
Oh, here we go, right here.
But there is one shot
That's a yes.
many here want to get.
When you get the claws just ready to grab the fish,
I want to get it just as it's got its talons out.
But that's a moment
challenging to get.
that's often even out of reach of these 800-millimeter lenses.
It's never perfect.
The old fish separator.
So sometimes help rolls in.
These are shad, and that's normally what the eagles eat.
Some throw the fish in the water.
I can only throw the fish out maybe 20 feet.
So what's an eagle photographer to do?
And that's what I invented. Over here is my fish launchers.
In 2 days, we saw 2 different fish launchers.
The eagles will readily go for fish that we put out in the river.
It's been revised like 3 times.
It's got a tilting mechanism on it that I can aim the fish wherever I want.
Both help the photographers get the eagles right where they want them.
I do get pictures without it, but I get a lot better pictures by doing it because they'll come closer.
The eagles lets them take the fish out of the river right in the spot where I can focus real well with the camera.
What did you think when you heard the term fish launcher?
I didn't quite know what they were, my first thought was, it's probably like a potato gun. But no,
Jeff Harrison is a state conservation officer with the Iowa Department of Natural Resources
I'll wait until he spins around a little bit
and says there's nothing illegal about what they're doing.
in case he sees it.
They just need to make sure that they obtain the fish from this area. They can't bring any live fish into the state.
And there are rules about who they can buy from, too.
You can only buy fish from a licensed commercial fisherman or commercial dealer.
It's on the verge of becoming a potential problem.
Kelly McKay has been researching bald eagles for around 30 years.
The trees are just packed over there. I would kind of lean towards not favoring that.
He says on one hand, by launching fish into the water, the eagles are getting food. But on the other, the eagles could start associating people with food.
That can only have, in the end, negative impacts to the birds.
So what should photographers do?
Go out and work for the photographs and try to do it naturally because you're going to have much less of a negative impact on the birds.
I actually might have some shots myself that were due to baiting, but I would actually sit down here on the ground instead of up on the row so that hopefully the shots that I got weren't relying on baiting.
Rich says in his time photographing eagles, he's never agreed with baiting.
It's the danger that can happen to the eagles themselves.
And as a photographer, he says launching fish for the eagles raises questions about the ethics behind the photos these photographers get.
I've been known to sit for 4 hours waiting for a shot. If you have to do that and if you have to learn the patterns of what you're photographing so that you can get better shots of them instead of baiting.
It was hard to find a photographer to say that. Much easier to find ones that say it's okay.
Do you feel like by baiting the fish that you're kind of staging the photograph?
No doubt, but I don't mind. I give them a meal and they give me a picture, hopefully.
They'll start biting.
Many here argue this is natural.
Yeah, he's going to come down forward, I think.
They're still taking the fish out of the river just like they would in the wild.
You're right, they do feed on them naturally. So get your photographs as they're feeding on them naturally.
Passionate debate.
It might be cheating a little bit, but it would be a long afternoon if we waited for them just to fish on their own.
From the people who research.
I think in the end, it's not going to be a good thing for the birds.
Who photograph.
It just is more satisfying when you can say, yeah, I took that shot and I did not bait that bird.
And come from all over for these bald eagles. In LeClaire, Brittany Lewis, WQAD News 8.